And how does this fit in with your idea of local control? I mean, this is a state imposing its ideas on the local district. That's a contradiction, isn't it? You're from Phoenix and you're saying to Tucson, this is what you can and cannot teach. And if you do teach this, we're going to cut 10% of your budget. How's that even legal? How's that even right?
Time, folks are going to drive home eventually and get home, and we've got some other ground to cover, but please, say what's on your mind.
Well, earlier somebody said, why don't you get rid of the Ames test? Actually, I ran legislation that would have made the Ames test optional for school districts. And it got one vote, my vote. We couldn't even get liberal Democrats to vote for it. So I'm so obsessed with local control that I would essentially make almost all aspects of educational policy local decisions. When we have curriculum under the control of local districts, I'm the architect of that. A lot of other states, no school district can decide what their curriculum is. They can't decide what their textbooks are. That's all done centrally. In Arizona, curriculum is done locally, textbooks are done locally. We are a hugely decentralized state because I've been the architect of that. So that's the backdrop. When you have that system, you depend on local school boards and local communities to handle issues like this. I've been in the elected leadership business for 25 years, whether it's a zoning issue down at the corner. When things explode, you've got to convene your community, you've got to hear out the issues, you have to resolve these locally. So, and I view it as a tragedy when that can't happen because I am so obsessed with local control.
Because of her, Miss Federico was a teacher, and she learned actually junior year material from U of A in her junior year in high school. So I just wanted to share that personal, real experience. Her name is Mariah. Oh, well, it was a quote in the paper, but understand that she's doing very well.
Hey, we're your constituents. You can't just walk away. We're your constituents.
So which teachers want to overthrow the U.S. government? And how was the course indoctrination?
It was a lie. My daughter was a student of those classes.
We didn't make any allegation that anybody taught to overthrow the U.S. government. That wasn't one of the.
Despite the audit, you said that the classes are in violation of the law. Will you vote to appeal your own decision later this month, 2 months?
David, have a nice night.
Well, I mean, he's going to you're going to cut 10% of TUSD's budget in about 2 months. Can you justify that?
Period, and what was observed during the audit.
Are you going to follow the recommendation of the court, or?
How about students that were actually in there and their parents that reviewed it?
So if the court finds nothing wrong, are you still going to ban ethnic studies?
When the court's done, it looks like he's going to be very thoughtful. I'm going to take a look at everything that he went through. I'm going to go back over the evidentiary record, then I'm going to make a decision. And then TUSD will decide whether to appeal that or not, and we will go on to another.
And how does this fit in with your idea of local control? I mean, this is a state imposing its ideas on the local district. That's a contradiction, isn't it? You're from Phoenix and you're saying to Tucson, this is what you can and cannot teach. And if you do teach this, we're going to cut 10% of your budget. How's that even legal? How's that even right?
It is an exception to what I would say is almost an obsession with local control. When you look at my record, the fact that in Arizona, local districts do the curriculum, local districts do the textbooks, but when you do that complete decentralization, unlike other states where it's completely done locally, see this in another state, this could never have happened because the central authorities would make all of the decisions. Tucson Unified could never have had this problem.
So you're admitting what you're doing is the central authority imposing its will on a local district?
Anytime you do the massive decentralization that I've been the architect of, local entities completely making their own decisions, making it on curriculum, making it on textbooks, serious errors can take place. And you rely on your local leadership to bring their community together, to hear out all these issues, and to end up with a curriculum and lesson plans that people can be proud of. That's what's at the
We
core
are
of this.
proud.
Is
Proud to realize
when you look at those
we
lesson
are proud
plans,
of our team.
all of the body
We are
that was
proud
in
of
there.
it.
When you look at the totality of the evidence, in fact, was that whole what you look at there? Is that something?
But you're not
people
giving
would
any
be proud of?
examples. I'm proud of it. Are you guys proud of it?
Yes.
We're proud.
Well,
And this is our
those-
this is our town. This is our
those-
district.
well,
You're imposing your will on our district.
this in the Tucson community, this is the nature of our public schools. It's the whole community that sits in judgment of what goes on. That it's the totality of it. The school board is in charge with bringing the community together, airing it all out. We should be able to go to a record that says this is what's taught in week 1, week 2. These are the lesson plans.
Which
But
other
when
programs
when we
do you do that to?
When we do that, that's the evidence that's going before the court.
Have you done that to African American studies? Native American studies?
David, these are
I'm
the
leaving.
these are the issues that were before me. They are exceptions to my general rules of complete local control of everything.
But you're the one in
As-
charge. So you can just ignore them. You can say, you know what, Horn was
Well-
crazy. Ignore what Horn did. We're going to do what I'm going to do.
You know, and in fact, I held off on the decision. I could have lowered that decision when I came in on January 3rd. I said, okay, we'll give them time to deal with this, to do the things that need to be done to heal this situation. David, it didn't happen.
I know. Yeah, you're right. The audit didn't find any evidence.
Guys, it's my turn. I'm impatient. I just
Local
want to read.
control as long as it
It's my turn. Hold on. I just want to read